Hi everyone, my name is Marcus Anthony, and today I answer the question, should you go to college? Now, this is just my perspective on, the whole theory of, oh, everyone should be going to college, um, you know, or or no one should go to college. It's just my opinion, and I'm just here to provide some information so that if someone's on the fence of going to college or not, then they can make a more informed decision and do what's right for them. So, whatever you hear here, just take it with a grain of salt, please. So before we get into the video though, if you could please just hit that thumb down below, make it go blue. That'd be very helpful for my videos to get out to as many people as it can. And if you agree with my takes on going to college or not, go ahead and leave a comment down below and let's have a discussion about it. And if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe, and there's going to be always more content from this channel going forward. So without further ado, let's get into talking about college. Now, before we start, I just want to start with a disclaimer. I have gone to Boise State and I have graduated from Boise State. So that's where I'm going from on college. So before you hear any bias or you think that I'm biased about anything, I'm not. I'm being trying to be as impartial as I can. So let's go through some pros and cons first. Pros. It's a great time. It's very fun. If you live at the dorms, the atmosphere, you can't get that anywhere else than in college because you're constantly living with your peers and you're making new friends at the same time. And that can't really be replaced if you're living at home going to college, or if you just don't go to college in general. You don't really meet a whole bunch of new people around your age unless you do go to college. So in that regard, it's a good thing being able to meet new people, especially if you're like a business major and if you're in the realm of meeting new people, and if that would go to great lengths in your career, then the networking portion of college is huge. You can get in touch with your teachers. They could recommend you to other people that they know as far as like a job or just a mentorship or something like that. It's very important, and that is a huge pro to college. Another pro is that it's the only way you can get into like a very specific field, like medical field, engineering, um, teaching, anything that is very specific and you need a certain credential to go into that career. You have to go to college. There's just no other way around it. You have to be trained a certain way. And overall, in college, you're investing in your future, and you might be taking on debt, but at the same time you're investing in your job prospects in the future and your ability to make money using the skills that you could be crafting in college. Now, we've gone through all the pros, in my opinion, that I see. I might be missing some I just haven't thought of yet, but let's go to the cons now. The number one con, in my opinion, is it is extremely expensive. It's stupid. I recently, a couple weeks ago, I checked to see how much it would cost for me to go back to get my MBA, and it'd be all online. I wouldn't be living at the dorms. I wouldn't be really getting any books, no food expenses, no living expenses, no parking pass, none of that. And it was supposed to cost $36,000 for 1 year. And that's just a snapshot of what college is like. When I was going to college, it was around a little over 3,000 per semester, and that was me living at home. I was thankful enough that my parents paid for it, and I didn't have to take on an enormous amount of debt to go to college, and I'm eternally grateful for them to be able to do that. But a lot of students aren't that lucky. It depends on where you come from, but it can be very expensive if you decide to take out a loan to pay for it yourself to go to college, because you have to take into account living at the dorms. What are you going to eat? What are you going to wear? Clothes. What are you going to be driving? Are you going to be driving a car? Well, you need to pay for gas, which, I mean, that has nothing to do with college, but you have to pay for a parking permit, which is pretty expensive. And it's just kind of a hassle and a headache to go through college as cheaply as you can without living at home. So I lived at home, and I was able to save a lot of this money from doing so. Going to college, ultimately, unless you're super lucky like I was, it leads to debt. It could be, just a little. You could be working part-time and still have to pay for some of your college, but the majority of it is going to be student debt, and that carries with you for life until you pay it off. You can declare bankruptcy for all you care. That debt is still going to be with you, and it's not going away anytime soon. Thank you, government. You gave us these loans, and here we are stuck with them. So we won't go into the politics of it. I don't want to go there. And then the con ultimately is, just because you go to college doesn't mean you're going to get a job. You're not guaranteed a job at the end of it. You still have to network. You still have to refine your skills and maybe take an internship while you're in college, or work on a project, start your own business. It's not guaranteed you're going to get a job straight out of college and hit the ground running, being able to pay off your student debt right away, because they expect those payments right away. So the job market's crazy now, especially with the pandemic going on. It's very competitive to get into a job because a lot of people got laid off. So yeah, college right now is kind of up in the air on whether you should go or not, because no one knows what that's going to look like in the fall semester. Because right now, a lot of the schools are just like all online, or a little bit of in school, like in-person teaching and an online teaching, a hybrid. You don't know if that money that you're paying per semester is going to go towards good use. When if you're online, there's no need to be paying 10 grand per semester. Not to mention, if you're out of state tuition is a whole new expense onto this. And so it's just a lot of costs associated with getting your little piece of paper at the end that said you graduated and you did it. And I don't know if it's worth it. There's a lot of other options out there. There's trade schools where you can learn to become a welder, a lineman working on like telephone lines and electrical lines. You could be a plumber. All of those jobs I just listed, people have been able to make an average income and even above average income doing those trades. And the amount of schooling is not as much as a normal undergraduate 4-year degree. It's a lot less than that. Plus, you get out of debt. You're not in debt to begin with going to a trade school. And then when you're hitting the ground running, you're making an average income immediately. You don't have to kiss anyone's ass and start an internship and work your way up. You're making money immediately, and that can go a long way to building for your retirement and building your wealth in the future so that you can retire earlier. Because that's what it's all about, right? We all want to just stop working eventually and just be done. So anyway, that's my thoughts on college. I didn't want to go into too much detail because there are certain things that I want to talk about in the future. This is just kind of like a snapshot of my ideas on college and my thoughts on it. But I can definitely go into deeper discussions about it in a later video. If you want me to go into a certain topic on college, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll definitely take your guys' ideas into consideration, and I'll make a video based on this in the future. If you liked this video at all and you thought it was informational, go ahead and leave a like on your way out. It'd be very helpful and it would mean a lot to me. And then if you like my content, you like my videos, go ahead and subscribe. It's free, I promise. I'm not charging anything. If you subscribe, then you'll get to see my content when I come out with it, which is twice a week, and that'd be very helpful for me. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.